Good morning. Arthur Offaly speaking on behalf of the Arthur Offaly Foundation. Now, after watching reports from those so-called politicians of ours in America, McGuinness and Foster, who had plenty to say about the prison officer who died, yet my father, who was brutally murdered by McGuinness's Sinn Féin IRA and the RUC PSNI 42 years ago, but of course Foster's father was a member of the RUC PSNI, and not a word from those two about the death that my father got. But of course, my father wasn't a member of Sinn Féin IRA or the RUC PSNI. My father was only a docker with 8 children and worked hard all his life to feed his family. Yet you get those scum over in America being wined and dined by Obama and co. Then you get Adams saying that he was annoyed because he wasn't allowed in and wanted an apology for him and his group from the Sinn Féin IRA, the very scum who brutally murdered my father, an unarmed man. And of course, no one has ever been charged by that corrupt RUC PSNI. Yet the RUC PSNI have known for 42 years that their Sinn Féin IRA informer, Freddie Scappaticci, who worked for the RUC PSNI, murdered my father. Yet both Sinn Féin IRA and the RUC PSNI covered it up, hoping that it would go away. Then you have George Hamilton and Adams out in America, laughing and having a good time, feeding their faces with good rich food, paid of course by the public purse, while homeless people here in Belfast are dying in the streets. And my father, a 56-year-old man, is lying in his grave for over 42 years because of Adams and his RUC PSNI chums. And the only help my mother got from the British state was £304 to help to bury my father. But I, of course, sent the £304 cheque back to them, telling them to shove it where the sun doesn't shine. £304 wouldn't buy a budget. Adams and his scum Sinn Féin IRA tried to discredit my father's good name by vicious lies. Now let me tell Adams, he wants to have a long, hard, good look at his own family before he talks about anybody. I hope Adams and McGuinness and Hamilton are smiling when they appear in the dock in Belfast together, charged with collusion into the murder of my father. I will be there to make sure that my father receives justice, the justice he deserves after 42 years of injustice by these corrupt scum. As I expected today, I have just received a letter from Sheila McPhillips, a so-called director of the Legal Services Agency, stating that they have refused me legal aid to take those corrupt Sinn Féin IRA and their chums, the RUC PSNI, and their Sinn Féin IRA murderer Scappaticci to court, the man who brutally murdered my father. Also involved was the British government, MI5, MI6. It goes to show how low these scum would go just to keep Scappaticci from appearing in court. He has to be kept quiet at all costs, and that office of the Legal Services Agency have now shown me that they are just what I expect they are, British puppets. And as I said before, the legal services system here in Northern Ireland is corrupt, and you people have just proved me 100% right. After all, Sinn Féin IRA have people in high places in the legal service, such as PPS office and Barra McCrory, as has been proven in recent Sinn Féin IRA cases, and of course the corrupt RUC PSNI. It lets you see what chance a member of the public has when he comes up against these corrupt scum, as their cronies hating in the legal system, and I know most of them. And as I said before, I am prepared to carry on with my father's case, and I will get it to court and let you scum try and stop me. And if I have any problems with the courts here in Belfast, I will take my case over to London. After all, I am a British subject, and this is part of the UK. And if I have to travel to London, I will, as it seems, accordingly to the legal system here in Northern Ireland, run by corrupt people, any chance of me getting justice for my father in any shape or form seems remote. Just look at those Sinn Féin area hoodie men. I believe I would be right in saying that they got legal aid from that office of the LSA. But of course they would go through that pro-Sinn Féin area office of Barramacroy and the PPS to make sure that they got legal aid. I will be meeting my solicitor to make arrangements for my father's case to be heard in the UK, as I find the legal system here in Northern Ireland is totally corrupt. The laws here are okay. It is the people who are in charge are the problem. I promised my father I would get the scum who murdered him into court to stand trial for his crime. And I have kept my promise. But those scum who run Freddy Scappaticci will not allow him to give evidence in court. His evidence would be damning, as it would involve top-rank RUC, PSNI and Special Branch, British Army, British politicians, right to the very top of Whitehall, and also those Sinn Féin area scum at MLS at Stormont who worked with him for years and knew what he was doing. That in itself would pull Stormont down. That is why these corrupt people are doing all in their power to make sure that my case will never reach the courts here in Northern Ireland. The affidavit that Scappaticci signed and is lying safe in the safe of his solicitor was to make sure that he is untouchable and will be looked after by the British state, the RUC, PSNI, the Special Branch, and of course the courts, who will never charge him with any crime. That's why Scappaticci appeared in court in Belfast charged with perjury, by a charge brought by the Chief Constable here. And the British state stepped in and the perjury charge was dropped. And the British government took Scappaticci over to London, where he faced no charges at all and is under their protective care 24/7. That is what I mean by untouchable. Now, if I can get my father's case to London, at least I can get a case against the leadership of Sinn Féin area and those corrupt RUC, PSNI for collusion in the murder of my father. The British state may think that Scappaticci is untouchable, but those other scum who colluded in the murder of my father are expendable and answerable to the laws of the land. At least, if I get that terrorist Sinn Féin area and the corrupt RUC, PSNI into court, it will answer many questions as to how a corrupt police force such as the RUC, PSNI employed Sinn Féin area informers to kill innocent members of the public, to withhold information, to allow a shoot-to-kill policy, to get rid of evidence, to supply guns to terrorists to shoot innocent people, to turn a blind eye to informers, to supply names and addresses of informers to be shot, to allow these Sinn Féin area informer Scappaticci to murder over 75 innocent people, including my father. This all coming from a so-called police force called the RUC-PSNI. This RUC-PSNI will have to be brought to justice to answer for their crimes. They are no better than their terrorist Sinn Féin area chums. I think after 42 years, my father deserves justice from you scum. Now these people should be classified as war criminals in my eyes. Anyone who would like a tape of this story or any one of my stories can call me on my mobile 07715 921137. Leave your name and address and I will send you a tip free. Thank you. Anyone who has a story to tell and wishes me to air it can call me on my mobile 07715 921137, or I can send a solicitor or a reporter out to get your story. And remember, I will tell your story as you tell me. Nothing will be cut out. Now watch more of my stories on YouTube, ArthurRafferty.com, YouTube Arthur Rafferty, Arthur Rafferty Docker, YouTube Jackspot 2012. That is a tip about the brutal murder of my father by a 5-man gang of Sinn Féin IRA led by Freddie Scappaticci, all police informers, on the orders of the British government, the RUC, PSNA and the Special Branch. That Sinn Féin IRA scum Scappaticci carried out their orders on their command. Now my email address is arthurrafferty1@gmail.com. Thank you for watching ASNI TV, and good morning, and I will see you soon.